What if I told you that some of Hollywood's biggest heartthrobs had been living double lives for years? Imagine waking up every morning, looking in the mirror, and pretending to be someone you're not. Now imagine doing that while millions of people watch your every move, dissect your relationships, and build fantasies around who they think you are. Today, we're uncovering the raw, unfiltered stories of 25 stars who said enough to the lies and chose truth over fame. These aren't just coming out stories. These are declarations of war against a system that told them to hide, to pretend, to sacrifice their souls for success. From Netflix sensations to chart-topping artists, these celebrities didn't just reveal their truth, they revolutionized what it means to be authentic in America. Their courage didn't just change their lives, it changed ours. If these stories inspire you, hit that subscribe button because we're about to dive deep into 25 journeys that prove being yourself is the ultimate act of rebellion. Rick Cosnet, the Flash star who sparked a movement. Rick Cosnet spent years playing superheroes on screen, but his greatest act of courage happened on Instagram. The Flash and Vampire Diaries star's 2020 coming out post wasn't just personal revelation, it was professional risk-taking at its finest. In an industry where leading men were expected to be every woman's fantasy, Cosnet chose authenticity over marketability, proving that real strength comes from living your truth, not playing someone else's. Brandon Flynn, the 13 Reasons Why star who gave hope new meaning. When 13 Reasons Why tackled teen suicide and mental health, Brandon Flynn was fighting his own battles with identity and acceptance. His public coming out and high-profile relationships with Sam Smith and Richard Madden weren't just celebrity gossip, they were visibility in action. Flynn transformed from teen heartthrob to LGBTQ+ advocate, showing young Americans that their struggles matter and their stories deserve to be told. Matt Dallas, the Kyle XY star who redefined family. Those piercing eyes and mysterious charm made Matt Dallas a teen idol sensation, but his greatest role came off-screen. When he married musician Blue Hamilton and adopted son Crow, Dallas didn't just create a family, he created representation. Their journey proved that love makes a family, not biology, inspiring countless LGBTQ+ Americans to believe in their own happily ever after. Jonathan Bailey, the Bridgerton heartthrob who proves love stories belong to everyone. As Anthony Bridgerton, he embodied period romance and traditional masculinity. But Jonathan Bailey's real-life story is thoroughly modern. His openness about being gay while playing one of television's most desired leading men challenges every assumption about who gets to be the romantic hero. Bailey represents the future of entertainment, where authenticity and desirability coexist beautifully. Charlie Carver, the Teen Wolf star who held his truth. Playing a werewolf on Teen Wolf required transformation, but Charlie Carver's real metamorphosis happened off-camera. His 2016 Instagram coming out post resonated with millions who recognized their own struggles in his words about societal pressure and self-acceptance. Carver's courage to share his journey helped normalize LGBTQ+ stories in Hollywood, one heartfelt post at a time. Joe Locke, the Heartstopper star who made love look easy. Heartstopper brought LGBTQ+ teen romance to mainstream Netflix, with Joe Locke's Charlie Spring at its beating heart. Locke's portrayal wasn't just acting, it was activism, showing young Americans that their love stories deserve the same fairy tale treatment as any romance. His openness about his own journey creates bridge between fiction and reality for viewers finding themselves. Kit Connor, the young star who faced the internet's judgment. Imagine being a teenager, figuring out your sexuality, while millions of strangers demand answers about your identity. Kit Connor's experience being pressured to come out as bisexual while starring in Heartstopper highlighted the unique challenges facing Gen Z celebrities. His grace under pressure and eventual openness about his bisexuality educated the world about respecting privacy while celebrating authenticity. Noah Schnapp, the Stranger Things star who made coming out feel normal. Will Byers spent Stranger Things hiding in the Upside Down, but Noah Schnapp chose to live in the light. His casual TikTok coming out video, "I'm gay and ready to love," captured the evolution of LGBTQ+ acceptance in America. This wasn't tearful confession, it was confident declaration, representing a generation that refuses to treat being yourself as breaking news. Jonathan Knight, the boy band legend who rewrote his story. New Kids on the Block dominated the 80s, but Jonathan Knight's personal story remained hidden for decades. When his ex-boyfriend forced his hand in 2011, Knight could have retreated in shame. Instead, he embraced his truth and found love with partner Harley Rodriguez. His journey from teen heartthrob to authentic adult proves that it's never too late to start living honestly. Lance Bass, the NSYNC star who harmonized with truth. The year 2006 changed everything when Lance Bass stepped out of NSYNC's perfectly choreographed formation to reveal his truth. His coming out wasn't just personal, it was cultural, forcing millions of fans to reconcile their teenage fantasies with reality. Bass proved that boy band members could be more than objects of desire. They could be real people with real stories worth celebrating. George Michael, the Faith singer who found freedom. Faith wasn't just a song, it was George Michael's life philosophy. When scandal forced his hand in 1998, the Wham! Legend turned humiliation into liberation. Michael's openness about his sexuality shattered music industry myths about what pop stars could reveal and still sell records. His legacy reminds us that our greatest vulnerabilities often become our greatest strengths in artistry. Mark Feehily, the Westlife voice who sang his truth. Westlife's harmonies captured hearts across Europe, but Mark Feehily's solo note of courage resonated globally. Coming out at the peak of the band's success in 2005, Feehily proved that authenticity and commercial appeal aren't mutually exclusive. His journey helped normalize LGBTQ+ visibility in pop music, paving the way for future artists to love openly. Ricky Martin, the Latin king who conquered fear. Livin' La Vida Loca was more than a hit, it was prophecy. When Ricky Martin finally came out in 2010, he wasn't just revealing his sexuality, he was revolutionizing Latin music culture. In a genre where machismo reigned supreme, Martin's courage opened doors for LGBTQ+ Latin artists and challenged traditional definitions of masculinity across cultures. Lil Nas X, the country rapper who broke every boundary. Old Town Road wasn't just a genre-bending hit, it was a Trojan horse sneaking a young, gay, black artist into country music's most conservative spaces. Lil Nas X's Pride Month coming out and subsequent bold music videos challenged hip-hop's deepest prejudices. He didn't just cross musical boundaries, he obliterated them, creating space for authenticity in the most unexpected places. Jojo Siwa, the dance mom star who grew up in public. Wearing glitter-loving Jojo Siwa built an empire on childhood joy, but her 2021 coming out represented growing up in the spotlight. Her journey from children's entertainer to LGBTQ+ advocate showed young fans that identity can evolve, that growing up doesn't mean growing apart from who you are. Siwa's visibility gives LGBTQ+ kids the representation they desperately need. Neil Patrick Harris, the How I Met Your Mother star who met himself. Barney Stinson was legend, wait for it, airy, but Neil Patrick Harris's real story was even more compelling. Coming out in 2006, Harris shattered the myth that leading men had to hide their sexuality. His marriage to David Burtka and their beautiful family became America's picture of modern love, proving that happiness comes in many forms, all equally valid. Matt Bomer, the Magic Mike star who stripped away pretense. Golden Globe winner Matt Bomer brought intensity to every role, but his most powerful performance was simply being himself. When he publicly thanked husband Simon Halls during a 2012 acceptance speech, he wasn't just coming out, he was coming alive. Bomer's authenticity enhanced rather than hindered his career, proving talent transcends labels. Colton Haynes, the Arrow star who shot straight from the heart. Behind Teen Wolf and Arrow's supernatural storylines, Colton Haynes was fighting his own demons with anxiety and identity. His 2016 coming out wasn't just revelation, it was recovery, showing fans that mental health and authenticity are inseparably linked. Haynes transformed his pain into purpose, becoming an advocate for those struggling with similar battles. Hunter Schafer, the Euphoria star who brought trans stories to mainstream. Euphoria was already boundary-pushing television when Hunter Schafer joined as Jules Vaughn, but her presence elevated the show's authenticity. As an openly transgender actress playing a transgender character, Schafer brought lived experience to her performance. Her visibility in mainstream media helps normalize trans stories and provides crucial representation for young trans Americans. Elliot Page, the Umbrella Academy star who opened every door. From Juno to the Umbrella Academy, Elliot Page captivated audiences with honest performances. But his 2020 coming out as transgender was his most authentic moment yet. Page's visibility as a successful trans actor in Hollywood challenges industry norms and provides hope for trans individuals everywhere that their stories matter and their dreams are achievable. Yasmin Finney, the Heartstopper actress who represented reality. As Elle Argent in Heartstopper, Yasmin Finney brought transgender teen experiences to Netflix's global audience. Her portrayal wasn't just acting, it was activism, showing young trans viewers that their stories deserve the same romantic comedy treatment as any love story. Finney's presence in mainstream media helps normalize trans experiences for audiences worldwide. Consani, the model who walked her truth. In fashion's most exclusive circles, Consani isn't just walking runways, she's breaking barriers. As an openly transgender model working with major brands, Consani challenges beauty standards and expands representation in an industry still learning about inclusion. Her success proves that authenticity and commercial appeal can beautifully coexist in fashion. Nicholas Hamilton, the IT star who faced his own fears. Playing the bully Henry Bowers in IT required Nicholas Hamilton to embody fear, but his real courage came from confronting his own truth. Though private about his personal life, Hamilton's advocacy for LGBTQ+ acceptance and his messages about authenticity resonate with young fans navigating their own journeys of self-discovery. Jaden Smith, the fashion revolutionary who redefined masculinity. Gender norms, fashion roles, societal expectations, Jaden Smith treats them all like outdated software needing updates. His fluid approach to gender expression and casual discussions about relationships challenge every parent, every school, every community to expand their definitions of what young American men can be. Smith's fearless individuality inspires others to embrace their authentic selves. Troye Sivan, the YouTube star who grew up with us. Starting as a nervous teenager on YouTube, Troye Sivan literally grew up in front of his audience. His 2013 coming out video wasn't just personal confession, it was generational moment, watched by millions of young people seeing themselves in his vulnerability. Sivan's journey from bedroom pop to global stardom while staying authentically himself proves dreams don't require disguises. Omar Apollo, the R&B star who made vulnerability beautiful. In a genre built on bravado, Omar Apollo chose vulnerability as his superpower. His silky voice carries stories of love without gender limitations, creating soundtracks for relationships existing outside traditional boundaries. Apollo's music doesn't just acknowledge LGBTQ+ love, it celebrates it, proving authenticity and artistry creates the deepest audience connections. Sam Smith, the voice who taught us identity evolution. Sam Smith's journey wasn't just coming out, it was coming into themselves completely. First as gay, then as non-binary, Smith's public evolution mirrors private journeys of countless Americans discovering that identity isn't fixed but fluid. Their courage to educate the public about pronouns and non-binary identity created space for everyone still figuring themselves out. Janelle Monáe, the futuristic artist who made love limitless. Janelle Monáe's artistry has always existed in the future, where love transcends all boundaries. Her openness about being pansexual loving regardless of gender introduces many Americans to concepts beyond traditional binaries. Monáe's music and advocacy expand our collective understanding of what love can look like in the 21st century. These 25 stories aren't just celebrity news, they're American stories of courage conquering fear, authenticity defeating artifice, and love overcoming prejudice. Each time one of these stars chose truth over safety, they didn't just change their own trajectory, they altered our cultural landscape. They've shown us that coming out isn't a destination, but a daily journey toward authenticity. They've proven our differences aren't divisions, but the diversity that makes us stronger. Most importantly, they've demonstrated that in America, you can be exactly who you are and still achieve everything you dream. Their collective courage created the world where today's young Americans can grow up seeing themselves reflected in every screen, every song, every story. That's not just progress. That's revolution, one authentic moment at a time. From Rick Cosnet's Instagram courage to Noah Schnapp's TikTok confidence, these stars represent the evolution of LGBTQ+ visibility in America. They've transformed from hidden minorities to visible majorities, from whispered secrets to shouted celebrations. Their legacy lives in every young person who now believes their story matters, every parent learning to love without conditions, every fan discovering that their heroes are even more heroic when they're being themselves. The stage is set, the spotlight is bright, and the next generation of authentic voices is ready to perform. What story will you choose to tell? The world is waiting for your authentic voice to join this incredible chorus of truth. Subscribe for more stories of courage that are reshaping our culture, and remember, your authenticity isn't just personal freedom, it's collective progress. Let's keep building a world where everyone can live their truth without fear, one story at a time.